All right, guys, we're in the shop, Off-Road Universe. We're going to be working on this IT490 rear loop. And one of the things that happened here was this rear loop was all bent up and kind of squashed, cratered. And I want it to obviously look better. So what I've done is I've cut this off. We're going to be taking this little bracket off of this piece here, and then we're going to be welding it. What I was able to buy was a rear loop from Amazon, and this is one that they sell for a lot of cafe racers. You'll see these on eBay and different places. It's slightly thicker than the original, but it actually looks like it could be a pretty good fit. The width is about the same. We've got a little discrepancy or a difference because I think my frame is a little bent. And what we're going to do is we're going to ground down these edges of the frame here. This is 16 mil, and I believe this is 18 mil, but it should actually, this should actually fit inside of here, which then I will, tack weld and weld. But my main question right now is going to be, how far in should it go? How far out? Where will I line up to the existing point on the rear fender to bolt this in? So we'll get started here in just a moment and see what we can do. Guys, so this is the listing. I actually ended up paying $14. As I go back, I said 17 and 14. Can you believe it? Amazing. These are the dimensions. I'm going to try to show you guys everything here. 210 across, 230 long, and then we've got another image here of the thickness, 18 mil. So if you need to find another one and this listing isn't up or the link doesn't work, those are the specs. All right, guys, so one of the things we're going to do first is we're going to attempt to open up these orifices here on the ends of this particular little rear loop. And I'll post a link to this on the description if it actually works pretty well. But we're going to get in with the Dremel. We've got basically kind of like a grinding tool here. We're going to try to get in here and ream these out a bit. They're actually a little bit beveled, so they're actually smaller than the ID. Figure this is easier than breaking out the angle grinder for the frame. I'd rather start with this. All right, I'll stay on this for a while and let you guys know how it goes. Hopefully. Just to show you guys kind of what's going on, we're just going in here and reaming this out. This is a common issue with these Enduro bikes. These rear loops always get bent up, and thanks to the Cafe Racer segment, we might be able to find a solution. All right, so let's see. We've gone in, we've reamed out this one side, and I've also did a little pre-work on this side. So let's see. My goal would be to get this in without having to necessarily weld it end to end, but rather get it in there and then adjust, the size. Okay, look, that's getting in. That's really nice. I'm gonna end up repainting all this anyway because I've got to weld a bracket on here. So even though it looks like it's got a nice powder coat, it's gonna have to go. So look, that's already in, which actually it's a good start. I'm not sure the other side's gonna go in, so let me keep working. All right, guys, so the angle grinder definitely got us pretty far here, and boring out the center. Just for detail, this is a 16 mil frame. This is 18 according to the Amazon page. And as I said, I'll put the link because I know this is a big issue for guys with these bikes. But I ended up kind of reaming out the inside and then taking the angle grinder to this, and it does fit pretty nicely here. My only problem is, we'll get in there, it's just a little bit tough, which is actually what I wanted, is we're a little bit off on the frame because obviously there was a crash, and so this is bent in a little bit. You think this would be easy to bend. It is not. It's pretty intense. So we're going to see if I can bend this out a little bit. All right, so we managed to bend it a little bit, and now we're just going to kind of drive this baby in. Let me get that. All right, guys, so we're just kind of playing with it, and I've got the fender kind of in place. You have to remember that these holes should be on the other side of this loop, so they should actually be kind of closer to where I am standing or closer to the tail light. So this loop has to go in a little more. We've got about an inch, maybe about 3/4 of an inch or so on each side. That may get us there. If not, I just have to cut off a certain amount of the loop, and then that should get us really close. So let me do some more. All right, guys, sorry for the crappy camera work here. It's so hot in this garage, Texas summer. But it looks like 1.5 inches is going to help me to basically move this to where it needs to be. So I did my measurement, just kind of showing you guys. If you look at this, it's going to need to land right about here. And so based on that, I need to take some of the ends off of this, about 1.5 inches. That should land us in the right spot. All right, guys, we've got a little bit of a mock-up here. Basically what I did was I took 1.5 inches off here. I could probably, you know, push this in a little bit more. But the nice thing is, the way it is, it's going to be pretty seamless. I'll just put a weld right here, and then I'll end up, you know, going in and cleaning up the weld and repainting. And since I have to put a bracket right here, and this is the original bracket, as you guys can see, size-wise, you can see, sorry, that I just need about 3/4 of an inch in terms of the bracket, and weld it on here, and then that's going to basically line up pretty good. So this, what I'm looking at now is really just to make sure that the rear fender isn't sticking out too much. So I'm going to kind of look at some pictures and kind of see what I think. It does seem like it sticks out a lot, so I don't know, I may have to take off a little more, and then, you know, from there, push it further back. We'll just kind of figure it out. It looks like it's coming even past the rear tire, so I'm going to go look at some pictures. All right, here's just a picture of an IT. Looks about like mine. So yeah, guys, I took some time, looked at some pictures. That definitely is correct. We've got a little bit of alignment to do, but basically everything is looking pretty good. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna end up popping this off. I'm gonna clean this up, take it up to the grinding wheel. I'm gonna get all the paint off of here, and probably will end up just stripping the whole thing down tonight. And then I'll continue this video after I do the welds. But the next thing to do is going to be to cut this off, get all the rust off of it, clean it up as best I can, weld it on. And then after I weld it, we'll go in, and when we're ready for paint, we'll go in and paint all this. But that's the solution. I'm going to post a link to it, so you guys can use it. Also, I'll try to remember to post the dimensions so you could find a substitute. And all I had to do, of course, was cut and leave a little bit of my original rear bar. And then what I did was I took about 1.5 inches off of this, and that lined it up just perfectly right here. Okay, guys, yeah, fits like a glove, pretty much right on. So you can see the seat fits perfectly. You've got enough room here. I'm gonna obviously do some work on this. This needs another set of bolts to get it in here, you know, so it doesn't flop around. But yeah, everything looks pretty good. If you put the side panel on, basically, you know, that's what it's gonna look like, and that looks pretty good. So we figured out something that a lot of people struggle with. You don't need to fabricate your own. I'll show you which one to buy, and take about 1.5 inches off. Of course, do your own measurements. Cut off the old one, reuse the bracket. And guys, this part of the project, this ugly, banged up thing is done. Now, this is a little fatter, but honestly, it's quite all right. I think it looks pretty awesome, and it's a good solution. And guess the price when I bought this was about, I think, $17 with free shipping. So not too bad. See you in the next one, or we'll continue this one with some welding. Here's the specs again. I think I'm going to end the video and not show you guys the welding. I'm considering actually putting a bolt on the inside and drilling all the way through, but not going through the other side where it would show, and then being able to replace this if it bends later. We'll see. But let me know if you like the video, and if you like this kind of content, hit like and subscribe. I think this is a great solution. It's an area so many people I asked were like, oh, you don't know, you have to fabricate your own. I tried to bend my own pipe, didn't work. This is available, 14 bucks. Just incredible. Just match the specs. You should be good, and it's going to look great. I think even better than the original. Thanks, guys. If you like this kind of stuff and want to watch the rest of the project, hit like and subscribe.